Well, joining us now is former Nationals leader and MP Barnaby Joyce. Barnaby, welcome. Now, you're not in favour of net zero, so according to Chris Bowen, you are therefore in favour of catastrophic climate change. Here's my question, Barnaby. Why do you hate the planet so much?
Don't you just hate the way that they go about this? That they, with the guile of the snake, they create this guilt trip. You know, it's guilt. When they can't win the argument, they say, well, if you disagree with me, the kidneys will instantaneously combust and everything will die and the beaches will go and the houses will be flooded. You know, I wonder if Mr. Bowen and Mr. Albanese, with all that, what they're, you know, we're so far down the track, it's going to be the case that if the floods and the cyclones don't stop, they'll resign. What are we doing this for? The majority of the globe in population and the majority of the globe in economics does not participate in net zero. Right? They might give sort of a nominal, at some stage in the future, we might consider it, but they're not part of it. So what we've got to clearly understand is this is the most appalling virtue statement that signs you up for the greatest swindle, and I really mean that, swindle in modern times. The idea that these multi-billionaires, domestic billionaires and overseas foreign multinationals get their money underwritten in a capacity investment scheme, even if they don't produce electricity, that we sell power in 5-minute stacks, that the price they bid in is not the price they get, but the highest price in the stack is the price they get. That's like taking your potty calves to the sale yards and you get paid the same price as those brought in the best ears. You all get paid the same prices. Absolute lunacy. But what happened at the end is the pensioner, poor old Australian, they pay through the teeth. And our nation, which should be getting as powerful as possible, as quickly as possible, we heard what Peter Hegsworth has said, is not within sight. Not within sight. We have put our nation at risk because of this mythical guilt trip and this huge swindle on us.
That's a great point, Barnaby. This week we saw Susan Lee and David Littleproud announce their shadow cabinet. Despite your many years of experience and effective advocacy, you were not included in the shadow cabinet. Do you think David Littleproud has made a mistake?
Well, look, I'm going to leave that up to Lee's. Obviously, I'd back my own capabilities in. That'd be stupid. But look, on a serious issue, I have for a long time not supported net zero, but obviously I was bound by cabinet solidarity that I couldn't articulate it as such. And I don't think any person out there in viewerland knew anything else than I think net zero is just a heap of junk and disastrous. And I can't advocate on behalf of the Australian people for the defence of our nation by getting out of this madness if I'm bound by the solidarity of having to say I agree with this madness, because I don't. And so, to be quite frank, I'm very sanguine about getting out and of being out, and it allows me to do what I think is my duty, which is to tell the Australian people, watch out, you are really hurting yourself. Get out of net zero. It is insanity. You've got the Chinese breathing down your neck. They've done live fire exercises with the most sophisticated battleships on the planet off in the Tasman Sea, off Sydney. Sydney, you might have heard of that place, Sydney. And that's just to warn you, you start treading on our toes and we can get to you very easily. And then they've done the circumnavigation of Australia with their flotilla. They've done their planning around Melbourne, sending their research ship through, research vessel. And what are we trying to do? Change the weather. We're going to have a battle with the weather. And look, I've looked out at the sky. I really have, Freya. I've looked at the sky, the great vault of heaven, and I've looked at Chris Bowen. I'm going to have a look to the sky again. And I've come to this amazing conclusion. Chris Bowen can't change the sky.